Alrighty, so the new HBO Max series Velma just released 2 more episodes and is currently under fire. Of course, you guys know that everybody hates this show. The woke revolutionaries hate this show. The fans hate this show. And now it's currently under fire and it's being put on blast by the very last people on the planet that Mindy Kaling and her fellow co-showrunners would have thought would be putting them on blast, as it were. Now, we're going to be getting into that a little bit, but I want to highlight a little bit of achievements or some achievements that this show has actually attained, as it were, because a lot of people don't give this show credit. So today I want to give this show a little bit of credit for some of the things that it has achieved. So on IMDb, as it were, this show is currently sitting, and this is something that was going on around Twitter, that it has now dethroned Dragon Ball Z as the worst rated show ever. Although that information is not totally correct, because Velma is only the 3rd worst rated show ever. Velma currently sits at number 3, and that in itself is an achievement. The worst rated show on IMDb ever, or the 3rd worst rated show, and it's in great company, because if you take a look at number 4, A Little Late with Lily Sang, you all remember that? White people, huh? You remember that late night show, that very boring, unfunny late night show that they forced the audience to clap and laugh at her fake, weak ass joke, and they exposed her for the terribleness of the show? Yeah, that show. Santa Inc., another terrible woke show that tried to destroy Christmas, Santa, and the whole idea of it all. Incredible stuff. It's really amongst great Hall of Fame of worst shows. Like The View is in there. The View is in there. I don't know how they pay those women millions of dollars to spit nonsense and absolute garbage about things they know nothing about. Nothing. These people have the worst takes in the world, yet they pay them millions of dollars to sit down every single day and give worst takes on political issues they know nothing about. Keeping Up with the Kardashians is quite a surprise that it's in there. Now, I know people don't like these women, but I'm surprised that it's in there. I thought it will have a better ratings than that. So this is some really incredible stuff when it comes to this Velma show. This is something that we should really hand them credit for, because the Velma show, as we all know, was created for woke people, was created for the woke revolutionaries. Nobody can deny that, because Mindy Kaling herself claimed that Velma is an icon for gay women in her promotion for the HBO Max series. I have to give her credit, because I never thought that something would be too woke for the woke revolutionaries. As you guys well know, we all say that you can never be woke enough. However, Mindy Kaling has broken that barrier with this show Velma, as the show is so bad that it is spawning psyop conspiracy theories about this show, and you guys wouldn't believe what these conspiracy theories are. You wouldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it myself, that the show is so bad. The woke revolutionaries, the woke left said, nah, this couldn't have been created by leftists. It couldn't have been created by woke revolutionaries like us. It's a right-wing people that did this to us. As they literally said, Mindy Kaling created what is essentially a parody of what the right-wing thinks is left-wing comedy, as in a show that not only recasts most of its roles with new races, but white people's rich jokes. How is it that it's right-wingers that did this? Lily Sang, another brown girl, did the same thing. Y'all remember her white people, huh? Jokes. Oh, I'm only a fresh bisexual, but I'm pulling more women than most of these guys out here. White people, little ding dong jokes, and so on and so forth, and all of those kind of trashing straight white male, trashing white people. That's most of her show. That was most of what it entailed, toxic masculinity and all of that stuff, right? And so she's another brown person that was doing the same woke things that got canceled. What these people are doing, in my own personal opinion, is they're simply lifting a mirror to show you people what wokeness is like, because they think that's what people who are woke like, because they themselves are woke. That's what they think, and that's the mirror they are holding up. They're really no different in a way, but for different reasons, like the libs of TikTok. The libs of TikTok just exposes people and their woke ideology, says nothing, just take exactly what they say verbatim and post it out there, whatever they come out to say. And when they post it out there, it looks ugly. It looks absolutely horrible. to the point whereby woke revolutionaries themselves, when they see those things, they say, oh, this is a conspiracy against people like us. But Libs of TikTok ain't saying nothing. It's just simply posting the things that and all the perversions that people spit out on TikTok, and it's just posting it on Twitter for the whole world to see, not making any comments. So wokeness is ugly. It's ugly, right? And when woke people see what wokeness is truly like, which is what Velma is perpetrating, they can't stand it. It absolutely does their head in. It does their head in, and that's why they come up with all sorts of conspiracies that these things are just right-wing propaganda being pushed to make woke revolutionaries like themselves look bad. But don't give me that bull crap, because we all know that this thing was specifically tailored for more modern audience. For anybody that dislikes it or anybody that complains or criticizes it, we were all called racist for it. Remember when Mindy Kaling defends South Asian Velma on Scooby-Doo spin-off and says she doesn't care if people freak out? I mean, take a look at some of the things that she said. Kaling said, when it was announced that I was going to do the voice of Velma, people were very supportive and happy on Twitter, said Kaling, during an appearance on the NBC Late Night with Seth Meyers in July. So I felt great because these are really intense fans, cartoon comic book fans. Now, this was what she said initially about the fans. She also now went on to say, but Kaling told the host Seth Meyers that the backlash was swift and people were not happy. There was a lot of, so not my Velma, those kind of tweets, Kaling said. For example, one user tweeted in June, it's Velma, except she's Asian and there is no mystery incorporated. In other words, it's not Velma. In other words, these people are racist for not liking my Velma. However, right now, she's on the fire, like I said in the beginning. And I know, like we fans, we know exactly why we do not like this show for obvious reasons. Fans truly don't like this show for simply because it is bad storytelling. It has unlikable characters. It pushes propaganda and perverted ideologies. It has mindless violence. It also has nudity in there. Also promotes the gay agenda and unnecessary race swapping of characters to push identity politics. We all seen that. Taking the fun out of a goofy, lovable, and enjoyable show that people actually already could relate to. People don't like the fact that you took the beloved IP and you just destroyed it. And to top it off, you are now saying they are racist for not liking your show.
This is groundbreaking evil behavior, people.
Well, what are you going to say about this, as she's currently under fire because South Asians that she's meant to please people, which if you guys remember what she said about South Asians and why she's doing this, she said she's such a great character. She's so smart, and I just couldn't understand how people don't imagine a really smart, nerdy girl with terrible eyesight who loved to solve mysteries could not be Indian, Kaling said. There are Indian nerds. Well, right now, Kaling is under fire by said South Asians, and outlets that are supposed to like this show are putting this out. They said 6 tweets that perfectly explains why South Asian Twitter is not feeling Velma. It's not feeling Velma at all. So let's take a look at some of these tweets out here and see what they had to say. I'm happy, man, the Kaling style of writing brown girls that hate themselves wasn't around when I was younger and only became a thing when I was at the age where I loved my heritage and skin color. I can't imagine being young and already self-conscious and then seeing that portrayal. So that's perfectly valid reason. That's perfectly valid reason. This other person says, it's wild to me that hashtag Velma was the thing that sparked all the Mindy Kaling criticisms. Mindy always strived for white validations in her work. She wrote this thing, a young girl eagerly rejects her culture because she thinks having a white boyfriend is better and more appealing. Well, you will be forgiven if you feel that she's actually projecting a reflection of her own life on the show. Something that one other Twitter kind of reiterated in saying, so Velma is a brown girl in the show and Fred is a racist, rude douchebag. In addition, she's crushing on him at the same time acknowledging that he is rude. This is terrible. Mindy Kaling needs to stop portraying Indian girls as losers. I'm personally extremely cool and sick of it. Like literally. So this is the thing about woke revolutionaries and co. They never believe that there are other races in this world that could be insufferable, rude, terrible type of people. Only white people. So if you portray somebody who's non-white, something that Nanjiani has complained about in Hollywood today, that he's finding it hard to get work and roles as a villain, he's complaining about it. This is the exact reason why. Because if they portray you, a brown person, as a bad person, your people are going to complain. The woke revolutionaries are going to complain. And Hollywood doesn't want to offend these woke revolutionaries. That's why you're not getting the job. See? Exactly what we've been saying. Everything woke turns to trash. But still, you gotta give Mindy Kaling some credit. You gotta give her credit because she's united the world. A show that is truly amazing because it brings together people from different races, political background, sex and sexuality, and makes everybody in all of these categories come together to hate one thing, standing together. Men, trust me, that is saying something, and that truly takes skills.